I'm giving examples on every concept of events. All together, another example also we will see. Means individually, every topic related one example I am giving for event. Finally, all together we will keep in few examples. Last session I showed you creating a EMI calculator. You tried? You practicing? So you need to try such examples so that I can give some exercises now. If you can try and practice what you learned in class, I will give you some more exercises to do. Okay. So last session, I explained some events related to element state, on blur, on focus, on change. Next, today we are going to see another important, some new concept also will come. We are going to learn about timer events. We handle timer events, working with timer events. So in JavaScript, what are timer events and how to handle them? You have set timeout, set interval, clear timeout, set interval, and clear interval. So these are JavaScript timer events. And we use these timer events in the same way here also. Actually, why you used these timer events in JavaScript? For which purpose you have used this? We have some technical points about them. What are those technical points? Actually, in interviews also, one main concept asked about these timer events is actual. The question here is, so while working with JavaScript based technologies, this debounce is very important topic. You already learned in JavaScript. Debounce, what it does, what is the purpose of debounce? One example I will show you. Let's create a simple example here. So in our application, I will show here. Let's add one component. In components, I'm adding a folder debounce demo. .jsx debounce demo. Okay. And here container fluid. Let's see the concept. For example, we are having a button class btn some warning bi volume up. Okay, so volume fill, volume up, fine. Okay, let's keep this in startup. So we have debounce demo. Let's run this and see. Okay, we have a volume button here. and we will write an event for the button. So we are having a function called level 1, and similarly we have level 2, level 3. So we have 3 levels, and we have a constant message. Set message use state. It is an empty string. Now what we are doing is level 1 will set message as volume increased. So 20%. Here volume increased 70%. And here volume full. So 3 levels have 3 messages. That means first function will put the message volume 20%, second one 70, third one full. And I want to display the message here. Clear timeout. Clear timeout. Set timeout and clear timeout. Right. Here, one more point is that syntactically, set timeout a function and interval. Set timeout function interval. Reference name. And how I will show you. See. Now, let's see here. How do we control this? How we can control the debounce is nothing but see, we are having 3 functions, level 1, level 2, level 3. All these 3 functions I am giving to set timeout. Set timeout level 1 function, and it will be 3000 milliseconds. Set timeout level 2 function, it will be some 6000 milliseconds. And set timeout level 3 function, and this will be some 10,000 milliseconds. Now actually, what is going to happen here? I will give a simple overview. For example, suppose this is memory, and this is the process. So we are having memory and process. This is memory, and this is process. That is process. Now there are 3 tasks currently. So level 1 is one task. Let's say this, yeah. Level 1 is one task, and level 2 and level 3. We have 3 tasks, level 1, 2, and 3. Now see, generally what happens is, when you click the button, actually what is happening when you click the button is, this level 1, level 2, and level 3 all will load into memory. When you click the button, all 3 tasks are loaded into memory. But what happens is, this level 1 is removed from memory and it is sent into process after 3 seconds. That means after 3 seconds, that is removed from the memory and it is sent into process. Once the process is completed, when the process is completed, you can see it on screen. Once the process is completed, this task ends. And after 6 seconds, the second task is released into memory. After 6 seconds, second task, and it is completed. After 10 seconds, third task is loaded into memory. That means when you click the button, what will happen? All 3 tasks will load into memory, but all 3 are not released at same time. One is released at 3 seconds, another released at 6 seconds, another released at 10. Because of this delay, we can see everything happening on screen. Previously also same thing happened, but it was so fast that we have level 1, level 2 and level 3 now. So level 1 executed immediately within the next second, level 2 executed immediately the next second, level 3 executed. It feels like only level 3 is working. Actually, previously also same thing happened. But now what we are doing, we are delaying the task. We are delaying the task and keeping that locked in the memory for some duration of time. Now important, all these 3 tasks are removed from memory and they are executed and they completed. If I want them again, then I have to load all 3 again into memory. That means how many times the task will execute? The task will execute only once. It will load into memory. From memory, it will send into process. Remember, when any task is in the memory, it is still not released. It is still not released and you delete it from the memory. If you delete it from the memory, then it will not execute. That means you should delete it from the memory before releasing into process. Once it is in the process, you can't delete. If it is a heavy task, you can kill the process. If it is heavy task, that means it is taking lot of time inside process, then you can kill the process. You see some applications sometimes, they will show a message that application not responding. Then how to close an application which is not responding? In your computer, how to close an app which is not responding? If you open Control Alt Delete, it will open Task Manager. Na? In Task Manager, you can see there is a process category. You can go to the process category, select the process and end task. Am I right? There will be a button for your Windows. You will have an end task. Na? That means it will kill the process, kill the task inside process. That means it is going to remove from the memory. Once it is removed from the memory, it is not in the process. Even you can delete from the process, but that is not directly possible for general users. We will never give the chance because controlling process is very dangerous. We will not do that. That's the reason you might have seen some payment is happening for some ticket booking. Once you click the pay button, you can't cancel. You know, na? There is no cancel. Either you close, even if you close, it may cancel internally. That means they will ask you, don't push back button, don't close. You can't cancel. Once it is in the process, you can't do anything. Before it is released into process, you can delete from the memory. And that can be done by using another option. What is it? Clear timeout. You can do it by using this clear timeout. Clear timeout is used for removing from the memory. Understood? So how this debounce is going to work, let's see. Now I given all these 3 things. First important, let's run this. I will refresh. I click this button. Then it will show After 3 seconds, the first task is released. After 6 seconds, second task is released. And after 10 seconds, the last task is released. The same thing is happening previously also. But we are unable to notice, and you people will usually call it as overwriting, na? Right? But question in interview is why I can't see the overwriting? You said overwriting, fine. Why I cannot see overwriting? Because the overwriting is so fast that you cannot catch it. And that's the reason we need to use debounce to control several tasks. That means many tasks we have to control using debounce. Why? Because we don't want them to immediately execute. We want them to wait for some time and release into memory. This is very important, and this is done by using debounce. And which event is used for that? Timeout. Now see, when I click this button, I want to cancel the second one. I want to cancel the second one from memory. 70% I don't want. I want to cancel from the memory. So I will put one button just roughly. I will add another button. This is some cancel level 2, something. So BTN, some danger, and MX2. Okay. So I want to cancel level 2. And when I click cancel level 2, second level should be cancelled. That means it must be removed from the memory. But again, same point here is C. The same concept. Suppose this is the memory. In the memory, we have 3 tasks. That means these 3 tasks are loaded into memory. Level 1 is loaded, level 2 is loaded, and level 3 is loaded. That means 3 memories allocated na. So level 1, level 2, and level 3. Now remember, these 3 are loaded into memory, but these memories don't have a reference name because it is a heap memory. It is not a stack memory. Stack means we know last in, first out. This memory is a heap memory. There is no order. Remember, first one is not level 1, second one is not level 2. We don't know in memory in which place which task is loaded. Remember, all functions are loaded into a heap memory. We are not sure in which location which one is working. Then how you will cancel? Then how do we cancel? For this memory, you need a reference name, na? Actually, in your JavaScript, usually you will create one variable, and in that variable, you will put the memory reference for which one? Level 1, level 2, like that. That means generally, what we do in JavaScript is, in JavaScript, we will create one variable. In that variable, we will store this function so that we can cancel this function with reference of variable now. So we will create 3 variables and we will use 3 variables. Actually, in React also, earlier we used to do the same, but recently they have changed. That means now React 18 and 19 onwards, React says that better not to use any variable and not to use any state. For example, see, if I want to store something in memory, I need a variable or I need a state. Na? In React, where we are storing anything? In a local state. In React, in a local state, we are storing something and we are accessing and using. In a state, you can store a function also. You can store a function, you can store any value. Am I right? So the point here is, generally, if I store this, actually, I told you that we have to use them in process. Na? This is memory and this is process. Am I right? This is memory and this is process. And actually, there is another point. So we have a UI also. That means we have an user interface. We have UI. UI is nothing but where you can see the value. Actually, now what is happening about variable is this is used in memory. It is used inside process. Am I right? And it is used for viewing in UI also. Na? That means if any reference is being used for process, it is being used for user interface, then it will be little delay. That means remember, if you want to use this for only process, not for user interface, that means I don't want to present, I want to just use it. That means in React, we want some values to use internally. We don't want to show these values. Understood? Na? We want to use the values, but we don't want to show the values. We just want to use them internally for process. Then in React.js, they introduced a new concept called useRef. In React.js, they introduced a new hook called useRef. Later, we will learn more about this useRef. Just one point as of now, useRef will allocate memory same like useState. That means you can store anything inside it. You can store a primitive type, non-primitive type, or even a function. Then what is difference between useState and useRef? Later, I will tell you more difference. As of now, useRef is native to process. useRef uses a reference memory. That means it is native to process. That means if you are storing something and you want to use only inside the process, not for presentation, then better always use ref. This will improve the performance of your application. If anybody asked in interview like, if I store anything in useRef, can I present in UI? No, you can present. You can present in UI, but it is not recommended. Understood? That means it is meant for internal process and it is not for presentation. You can present it, but you are affecting the performance. To improve the performance for internal uses, they developed one new hook called what? useRef. useRef. Later you will learn some more about it when you learn about use reference. So technically, how we need to avoid this, that means how we need to cancel them. Let's see how we can cancel them. And remember what this useRef can do, because it is used in process. Na? Process will handle every task in a thread, process will handle every task in a thread. That means it uses threads. In every thread, it will handle a task. That is why it can handle multiple tasks at a time. You have multi-threading now, right? It can handle multiple. So how it is going to work? Let's see. First point. So remember, I don't need 3 memories because I need to cancel only one. So what we will do? We will create here a constant, or we just create an constant or let. And what is it? We will create one simple reference name. Reference name is what? Suppose thread. Any name you can give, doesn't matter. And is equal to use ref. It using an use reference. And use ref default, it is expecting a value dynamically. Na? You can initialize with any value, but I am expecting something dynamically, then I will make it as what? Null. No, you are sure that it is going to use only number or only string, you can initialize, right? If you are not sure, then you need to make it as null. And remember, now what we have to do is, we have to load this second task into memory, and it should be attached to this thread. Na? Then what we have to do here, we have to use thread dot, we have thread dot current is equal to the reference name. The property current refers to the current thread task. That means thread is memory. In the thread memory, a task is attached by using what? Current. Then process will identify the current thread task. That means now in current thread, what is the task available? The task available is level 2. Then how do you cancel this now from memory? On cancel click, we will write a function. What is it? Handle cancel click. Am I right? On cancel click, what to do? On cancel click, we have to use what? Clear timeout, clear timeout, clear timeout. And which reference? We have thread dot what? Current. We have thread dot current. That means in that reference, what is present, it will be cancelled from the memory. Now see, I will write this on click, handle cancel click. Okay. Now see what will happen here is, of course, if you want, you can put temporarily an alert, alert saying that cancelled, some message we will do. Now you can see here, when we run this, I think I close. Yeah. Yeah. You see here, when I click this button and I am not clicking cancel, then it's no problem. Automatically one after another, all will execute. Second one also executes because we are not canceling now. Right. Okay. Let's run this again. Click this and click cancel. Cancelled. Okay. Now you can see first task is executed. After that, the second task will not execute directly. It will go to the third. That means you cancel the task from the memory, then you can easily execute the other tasks. And remember, earlier, even today, in several websites, YouTube channels, online tutorials, you might see that many people are using a variable reference name and storing the function of timeout inside the variable. You have to avoid that in modern React. In modern React, you should not use variables for storing the reference of timeouts. You have to use what? Use reference. Of course, in your JavaScript, you don't have this. You have to use only variable. But here we need to use this one. What is it? Use ref. Use reference. This is one new important hook, and it has more things to understand later. Later, we will have a separate discussion on hooks concept. There we will learn more detailedly about every hook. Here, just we are using it for storing a reference of a thread in the memory. Understood? Later, it has some more work I will show you. So first, while working with debounce, so we have to know about use ref hook. We have to know about this use ref hook. So it configures a reference memory. It configures a reference memory. You can store any value or function into reference memory. You can store any value or function into reference memory. It is intended to use inside the process instead of rendering into user interface. It is intended to use inside the process. It improves the performance of application while handling multiple tasks in memory. While handling multiple tasks in memory. useRef and null. You can configure any task using current property. You can access using current property. Right. So this is use reference. As I told you, we will use later in so many occasions. Later, generally we usually use in timeout of sessions. Na? You have seen websites or in JavaScript when you learned state management like concepts. You know, somebody logged in. After login, he is not doing any activity at certain duration of time. Then we will sign out automatically. These are all done by using debounce. Right? That means we given an option to book a ticket in 5 minutes, whether he is book it, we will check. It is done in 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, he is not booking the ticket, he will sign out. Am I right? All these are controlled by using which option? Debounce. Debounce. Such concepts you will implement in next level. First, you need to know the core example, how it is used. I will give this example. In this, we have debounce demo.what.jsx. I will copy this one. This is just one example of how we can handle debounce. This is one concept of debounce. Next important, another in the timeout, we need throttle. Another important concept is throttle. These two are very common and regular interview topics. So out of 100 interviews you attend as a web developer, almost 100 interviews will ask you about debounce and throttle. That means every interview will have a question on debounce and throttle. And it may not be in the same way, in a different concept, but mandatory. In every interview, you will face this question: what is debounce and what is throttle? Actually, what is throttle concept is nothing but generally you just saw the concept. What happened while working with this? This is the memory and this is the process, and we are having a task. Suppose we are having task. Now, what you saw in the process concept is this is memory and this is what process. What happened is when I used timeout, this is loaded into memory and it is removed from memory and it is sent into process and it is completed. That means it will execute only once. Now, what throttle is nothing but when you load the task into memory, it will load into memory. After few seconds, what it is going to do is it releases a duplicate into process. It will release one duplicate into process. After the process is completed, after few seconds, it will release another duplicate into process. That means this will repeat again and again. This will repeat again and again until it will repeat again and again until it is removed from memory. If you don't remove from memory, it is an indefinite loop. It will run forever. That means if you don't delete from memory, then it will run forever, continuously. This is called as what? Throttle. For example, you have bike, car. So you put a key in the bike and ignite. You have ignition. When you ignite, engine will start. After starting, engine will throttle. That is the technical term, engine throttling. Throttling is nothing but a sequence of operations are performed again and again, repeatedly, until the fuel is completed or you stop. Am I right? After engine start, what will happen? People say engine runs. Engine will not run anywhere. It will be there only. Engine will not run. Engine will throttle. When engine throttles, it makes the bike or car move. That means throttling is the process of executing a sequence of operations repeatedly again and again until you stop. Understood? For example, so here, everywhere, generally, why you need this throttle, for example, just roughly. So I will show one example here. Okay, let's put another one, throttle demo. Throttle demo. Okay. .jsx. So let's add a new function here. Export function throttle demo. And we will just add some container fluid. Okay. Say text center. Fine. Now here I'm having some date. So constant now, okay, is equal to useState. So new data. And how do we display here? I will put a div h1, and here we will display now dot to local date string to local time string. Okay, you can see that. You see, so we are having, we will make it in the startup throttle demo. Okay, and you see the time is there, but time is not ticking. Time is not ticking. It is fixed there. Why? Because at the time of loading my page, for example, you see here I am using another one. Okay, I will just use so a function called load time is a function. So it will have a setter set now, and is equal to set now is equal to what? New date. It will load again the time, and we will have an use effect. So that is nothing but at the time of mounting now. So at the time of mounting, we will call, what is it? Load time. We will use this load time. And here I am not initializing anything. I keep it empty. That means now what we are doing is we are loading the time here, and you can see it is showing some error. Why? Because we haven't mentioned the data type now. So we need to mention what type of data it should handle. So because it is to local time string is not defined. So it is what type? Suppose I give null also. It's not good. I will use what? Because data type is important. Okay. Now see here, what is happening is I will refresh this now. You can see when I refresh this, again when I refresh at the time of loading, what time is there it will get. Why? Because you written on mount na. So here what I am using, what is it? Set timeout, and we will use which one? Load time. After 1000 milliseconds, what will happen is after 1000 milliseconds, it will load the time. There is no change na. Why? Because this timeout function will load your function and release into process. We will give this work to interval. So we will give this work to interval. So what interval is going to do? So interval is going to execute. So what interval is going to do? So interval is going to execute the task. And remember, it is going to execute the right. So just this is not the example. This is just one throttle demo. This is just a time, but we will make some changes into this. This is just to show anywhere in a website, whenever anybody opened our website, usually we have an habit of showing a clock time, right? That we can display by using this technique. You see throttle, another point here. Suppose you have a stopwatch. This is a stopwatch. And in this stopwatch, when I click start, then you see it is ticking with milliseconds. After reaching 999 milliseconds, it is going one every second, it is incrementing. Now tell me when it is going to stop. It will never stop until or unless you say stop. This is throttling. That's an example of throttle. That means when you stop, then it will stop. Right? That means it is going to execute continuously. And this is not complicated logic. In JavaScript, you have done such things, huh? Right? So I will just give you a overview. One level I will implement, other you try, right? What you need to do, let's do this. So how we can create such, okay. I don't need all of this initially. Suppose we are having so we are having a div. Okay, just roughly I will put so bg primary or something. Okay, in this we are having a row, and let's put some columns, just roughly columns I will add. This is call 1, 2, 3, 4. How many columns you need? Stopwatch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just roughly I will add 5, 6. Just here we will put 0, 0. And here I will take colon and 0, 0 and a colon and again 0, 0, 0 na hours, minutes, seconds, and what? Milliseconds. Okay, just roughly I'm adding that into the design. Okay, now I will keep this row text white, font weight bold, font size as 1, W as 50. It will be in this way. Am I right? So just we will add one more button into this. Outside, we will add a simple button. And here we will put a button as what? Start. Start. Okay. And another button is stop. You can toggle also. We will see such examples. Okay. So these are start and stop. Font size is 5. Fine. BTN light and BTN and BTN light. Okay. These are the options. MX is 2. Fine. Okay. Now what start should do? It should start ticking now. Right. So what is the logic behind this? So for example, here I am configuring constant. We need hours value na. Am I right? Set hours is equal to use state. It starts with 0. Okay. What else? We have minutes. So we have set minutes and we have seconds. So set seconds. Okay. Next, milliseconds. So ms, set ms, milliseconds. Fine. What else? Now what we need to do? We need a function. The function is start clock. Am I right? Start watch. Okay. What this have to do? Milliseconds plus plus. No. Millisecond should be increased by 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I right? Until 999. So if milliseconds is equal to how much? 999. Then milliseconds will be again 0 na? No, we have to write set milliseconds. Huh? Set milliseconds again we need to set to 0. We can put local variables also. And we can directly display the value, right? Initially, first, for example, see, what is the next condition? Now, after that, what should happen is minute must increment na? No, second must increment na? When it reaches 999, 1 second, am I right? And we have another condition. If second is equal to how much? 59. 59, right? Then second will set second, na? Set second will be how much? 0. After that, so minute should increment, na? Am I right? Same thing you have to follow for others. I'm just giving idea, right? You have to try. I'm just giving idea. You have to try. Now, when this should start? So we need a function handle start click na. On start click, how you will start and how you will stop. Then for that you need a thread. Am I right? So this is let. What is it? Thread is equal to use what? Ref. Initially it is null. Okay. On start click, what we will do? Thread dot current na. Into that we need to set interval, not timeout, interval. Which function? Start watch. 1 millisecond I will give. Am I right? 1 millisecond I am giving. Okay. Next important is this should start when they click this button. So on click, what should happen? Handle start click. Handle start click should happen. And the milliseconds value should display here. Am I right? Seconds value should display here. Am I right? Right. That's how we need to define. And minutes value should display here. So minute value and our value should display there. right? That means we need to put the values hours, minutes, seconds, and you already learned functions na on start click. So it should execute and display the result. Now, why it is not working? Is there any issue in this? You check here. I am selecting inspect. You see here what is the function it is repeating. Understood? Huh? But what is the problem? Assignment to a constant variable have a problem. Where is that problem? Assignment to a constant variable. Where we assign to a constant variable. Where we assign to a constant variable. These are all constants, na? Right? By default initialized to 0. But we are not assigning, we are reinitializing, na? Actually, here assignment is happening. That should not happen. Why? Because it is a constant variable, na? What is plus plus means? Increase by 1 and assign, na? You can't assign. Then where should I write this? This is okay logic if you are using JavaScript. Understand? Na? This is not okay for React. For React, where should we assign? So here, what we have to do? So we have to use set, what is it? Milliseconds. Set milliseconds. In that milliseconds, milliseconds plus plus I am giving. Is it possible now? Is it possible? Assignment we are giving there. When I click start, it is still not possible. What else? Seconds, huh? So you see milliseconds value should be there. Na? This is assignment, am I right? Assignment to the constants not possible. That is the only solution you have to do. What do you suggest? Actually, we can declare another variable. Another variable. What is it? Milliseconds. Am I right? It initially starts with how much? 0. And what will happen here is milliseconds. Milliseconds plus plus na. After that, what we have to do? Set milliseconds. Set milliseconds. We have to add these milliseconds. Understood? Na? Because direct, remember, you can do that if you change them to var or let. Can we declare a state as a var or let? Yes, it will work, but it is not recommended. Always recommended to define as what? Const. Now the point is here, what is another one? Var what? Seconds, huh? Seconds is equal to what? 0. Now how you will handle this? So here what we have to do? Set seconds is how much? Not set seconds. Here what we have to do? Seconds. Seconds how much? Plus plus. After that what? Set seconds. Into that we will pass the seconds. Is it okay or any more issue is there? We need to display milliseconds and seconds only. Huh? So here you see now, when I run this start, it is executing that. Understood? And you can see it is not stopping. And you know where to stop. Why? Because stop should happen based on this seconds also. Na? That means what we have to do, set milliseconds. After that, what should happen? Milliseconds is equal to 0. Set seconds. After that, seconds is equal to how much? 0. Understood? That means when you click on start, it is going to display that and show. And you see now what is the problem in this console? It is not updating. It is showing only 1. Why? Because you set how much? 0 outside. It should be inside, na? Understood, na? Functions, because it is global variable, na? Global variable means it is going to assign only once. So after that, it should completely increment again and again, right? How it will increment again and again? This seconds must increment, milliseconds should increment, and it should store. Will you try this? Actually, this already we done in our all JavaScript icons. Only the point is you need to try with your general concept of constants inside useState, right? Logic, I told you, the functionality you need to assign. Already it is designed. Already in our previous batches, everybody have done that. Only the point is we give this as a simple task to you. You try. Can you try? Yeah, you try. Otherwise, next session, anyhow, I will show. What is the concept? You need to make the same stopwatch, right? If I don't give, it is continuously executing, huh? Right? So only some changes you need to do inside this area. Declaration of variables, declaration of constants, you try it. If you can try, then tomorrow we will see one real-time example using this. That means we will create one real-world example with APIs by using Throttle and Debounce. Okay, na? Tomorrow I will continue. Try. Tomorrow I will show you if you are unable to do it. Okay? Right. Yeah.